Hey everyone, and welcome to the Love Strong podcast. I'm your host, Cody Morris. In this podcast, we aim to give you a behind-the-scenes look at what makes Diamond C an industry leader in growth, culture, and innovation. In our first series, we're going to explore each of our 28 fundamentals for success in hopes to give you insight, examples, and guidance on how to truly live and embody each fundamental. Our goal each week is to give you the training and development to take back with you into your personal and professional lives so that you can be more successful. Join us each week as we explore the 28 fundamentals, and hopefully you can take from it the fuel that you need for your growth and success. Buckle up and join us for the ride. Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of our Love Strong podcast. This is our fundamental series where we explore each fundamentals of the week in depth, helping to provide you some insight, some examples, and really provide some unique perspectives from our guests each week. This week's fundamental is create win-win solutions. That fundamental reads, it's a two-way street. Learn to think from others' perspectives, discover what they need, and find a way to help them meet those needs while also fulfilling your own. Your success depends on theirs too. So if you haven't guessed it, this week our guest is Alex Vasquez of the he's the head of the customer service and warranty department. Thanks for coming on, Alex.
Thanks, guys. Hey, nice to be here with you guys today, and let's talk about creating win-win solutions.
Absolutely. And so, I asked you to be the guest this week because, in the customer service and warranty department, I imagine this is something that you deal with on the regular.
This is something we live by pretty much every day. This is fundamental. It really speaks very loud to us in warranty and our customer service roles, and we definitely experience it every single day.
So when you hear create win-win solutions, what's your first thought?
Well, create win-win solutions, obviously there's a number of parties involved, normally 2, 3, whatever the case may be. But there's obviously a conflict. There's obviously an issue. And creating a win-win solution is coming up with an agreement, some kind of solution to where both parties win. Both parties benefit from it pretty much.
Absolutely. And so I guess diving deeper into that, right? And you talk about in the warranty department, you want to really look for those win-win solutions, and it's almost imperative that you find it, right? I mean, without a customer is not going to come away happy unless they feel like they've found a win-win solution or at least gotten their win, right? They may not be concerned with our win, but in your job, you have to find those win-wins. So how do you approach an upset customer or a someone who's had an issue with their a trailer that they've purchased? How do you find those win-win solutions? What's your process?
So pretty much the first thing to do is acknowledge that there's obviously a problem. There's an issue, whether the customer's having an issue with his trailer, whatever the case may be. Acknowledge that there's a problem, and then working together to find that win-win solution. What benefits you? What could possibly benefit us? Outweigh the options that we have, and go over the pros and cons of every single option. Negotiate. Does this work for you? Find out, really kind of communicate with the customer, understand what his issue is and what we can do to fix it. But most importantly, we want to attack the issue. We don't want to attack each other. We don't want to, create conflict between us. That's not going to take us anywhere. So obviously finding a solution and finding the best way to fix that issue for that customer to where it benefits both parties.
Absolutely. And you make a key point there that I kind of want to elaborate on. When we talk about win-win solutions in leadership development or in business, we think of having the courage to speak up for what you need, right? Mm-hmm. Like what Diamond C needs, but also having the consideration to understand what the customer needs. Exactly. Right?
Yes.
And so, how do you, is there any skill or purpose in really navigating that opportunity to tell them, hey, this is what Diamond C can do. This is what Diamond C is willing to do. Have the courage to say, I guess hold those standards to where, our warranty department isn't,
So there's policies, obviously. Every time a customer purchases a trailer, there's certain warranties, certain warranty policies on there. Obviously, they get a manual with all that information involved. So when they call, if they went over their documents properly, they should have a pretty good idea if their issue is covered or not. And a lot of times, they're calling to create a win-win solution already.
Sure.
Like, hey, I have an issue. What can Diamond C do for me to fix this issue? Is there anything we can do? And that's where we go into the negotiation part. Kind of, okay, well, let's see what we got. These are pretty much all the options we have on the table. Let's go over the pros and cons. Does this benefit for you? Is it okay? Would this work for you? Would that work for you? And eventually, we come down to an agreement, and we'll try to find. We'll do our best. Obviously, Diamond C and the customer service we want to provide for our customers. We'll try to go over every single possible solution to come down to a win-win solution.
Absolutely. I mean, that's some great perspective on the professional application of creating win-win. But as someone in that profession, you have I would think that you have a knack for viewing the world in that way, and having that consideration and having that courage to also speak up and hold a standard, but then also having that consideration for the people in your life and around you to make sure that they're getting what they need. Mm-hmm. So do you have any example or insight for someone maybe who doesn't think like that, to how you can start finding win-win solutions in their life?
Well, I think one of the most important things is you have to be open-minded. If you are the type of person that kind of has a tunnel vision, and it's kind of like you don't really think about all the options you have. It's just like my way or no way. It makes it a lot more difficult, to kind of find a solution and get somewhere. If you're open-minded, just give each other the opportunity to really go over every single option that you have. I might have something in mind. I might have an idea that you never thought of that could possibly work out for you, and vice versa. The other person could have an idea that could possibly work for us as well. So you have to be open-minded and really take into consideration anything that the other person has in mind.
Absolutely. You made me think of so many fundamentals when you talked about that go into creating win-win solution. Yeah. That practice blameless problem solving.
Find a way.
Assume positive intent. Yes. Right. As callers come in and they have a warranty, if you feel like they're trying to take advantage of the mm-hmm. system already, or you've got that mindset, then you're never going to find a win-win.
You have to assume a positive intent, and just go from there, and see what win-win solution we can come up with.
Absolutely. That's great stuff. So we kind of have an idea of what this fundamental looks like in the professional and the life, but what does it look like when we're not creating win-win solutions? Like you can give examples of the warranty department or personal life, or provide some insight on how someone might recognize when they're not seeking win-win solutions. What would that look like?
Well, the conversation seems to take a turn. We begin to experience or feel tension in the conversation. A little bit of frustration begins to evolve, or if you may. It starts feeling really negative, like we're not really getting anywhere. So if both parties are not trying to come down to an agreement or a solution, then what are we doing? What's the objective here? The ultimate objective is to find a solution and fix whatever issue you might have. And if either party is not being open-minded and considerate of all the options that we have and what I have in mind, what you have in mind, it becomes difficult, and you eventually might not find a solution.
Right. Well, the first words of it are, it's a two-way street, right? Yes, exactly. And that has to be sometimes one of the more frustrating parts of this fundamental, mm-hmm. is that to find a win-win, mm-hmm. you have to have two people looking for a win. Yeah, and so that's why it's crucial. Yeah,
everybody thinks different too. Every customer is different. You have some that are very open-minded. You have some that are not, and it becomes not every situation is as easy. Some are more difficult, but after going around it a few times, that's where customer service really has to step their game up and really say, hey, look, I want to help you. These are the options. Like, come on, something has to work. Let's. If this doesn't work, why not? And what can I do to make it work? So it becomes a little difficult for us, but we do everything that we can within our power to to find that solution for them, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that Alex makes a crucial point of like what lives in the warranty department, but it exists in every professional atmosphere. You know, this concept of, I have to be considerate of the person, the desk next to me, the person across the table from me, the person on the phone, and really be considerate about what they need and what they need to get out of the relationship, whether it's your coworker or a customer or a dealer or, you know, vendor or anybody that you might possibly encounter. Most people, especially in business, are needing to get something out of that relationship, right?
Yes.
I mean, they have a goal, they have results that they have to achieve, whether it's internal or external or anything. And to really create win-win solutions, we have to be approaching those conversations with that intent and with that understanding.
Yeah, you definitely have to find, you have to understand all sides of the issue, pretty much. I obviously, if I call and I have an issue, is there a reason why I can't get what I want, what I need? I have to understand all sides of the issue. Why can't you do what I need, or you know, you pretty much have to be really aware of all sides of that issue to really understand what's going on and find the best possible solution for that.
So I think you just answered the question that where I was going next is, you know, all the 28 fundamentals kind of exist in this arena to all flow and work together to really make a ultra super effective, successful business or person in their life, you know, or in your personal life. So when you think about when we're not creating win-win solutions, or we find ourselves straying from that, what are some fundamentals that we can use or leverage to get back? And, you know, right there, you just talked about seek thorough understanding,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Is if you're not finding a win-win, hey, maybe I need to make sure I understand all sides of the issue, a full 360 perspective. What are there any other fundamentals that you practice?
Yeah, very important one is listen well. We as customer service reps and warranty reps, we have to listen well to the customer and really pay attention, because there's a lot of detail that comes into these issues sometimes, and if you miss something, it could be crucial. So listening well is comes into play. Finding a way is very important. I mean, I live by that. Find a way. I mean, a customer calls in with a problem, I'm going to find a way to make that customer happy and make them satisfied. Find a way.
Yeah.
So many.
No, I mean, you can use any of them, right?
You got to maintain the positivity. Maintain positivity because that positivity is what keeps this ball rolling. I mean, if you sit there and you want to be a negative Nancy, you're not going to get anywhere. I mean, you have to maintain the positivity, maintain the faith, and really try to work something out with each and every customer.
That what's funny is you start going through which fundamental can I use, and
pretty much all
of them, right? Because they're all so interconnected. But you know, and we get to see them all, you know, come to the surface at some point, right?
Yeah,
and as you keep the faith, as you speak straight, as you listen well, then you're able to find that create those win-win solutions. I mean, that's what's really amazing about all these fundamentals. And as we dive in throughout these 28 episodes and throughout the weeks of exploring each one, it's really fun to see which two, you know, stay close connected like this, you know, like you said, create win-win solutions and listen well. I hadn't put that together yet. That was, you connected the dots for me there, which was fun and great. And so, man, I really appreciate you coming on this week to our second episode of our Fundamentals for Success series. You know, this week we were talking about creating win-win solutions. You know, Alex Vasquez, the head of the customer service and warranty department, works every day, busts his butt to really make sure that I hear you on the phone. Our desks aren't that far apart, and I hear him on the phone, you know, for hours at a time, working to make sure that he finds these win-win solutions and provides that extraordinary customer service. And man, that was some great insight, and I really appreciate you coming on this week. So, if you can take anything from this podcast, you know, remember that it's a two-way street. That both of us have to. As Alex said, if you find yourself outside of a win-win solution, or a red flag that you might be outside of a win-win solution is if emotion gets high. Yeah. If you feel like you're not making progress, take a step back, use some other fundamentals like listen well, seek thorough understanding to really make sure you have it down. And then you might find yourself back at creating win-win solutions. I mean, if we could take anything and take it back into, you know, the other departments of Diamond C, or take it back to your personal life, I think that's a good 1-2 punch right there. Yes. It's like, go for win-win. If it's not working, take a step back and seek thorough understanding. Listen well and see what happens there. And make sure you
maintain the positivity more than anything.
Maintain the positive
that's
attitude.
the most important one to me.
So so thank you for joining us today. As you go in and work to create win-win solutions throughout your personal life or professional life, keep that in mind. And join us next week as we dive into the next fundamental, appreciate differences. Until then, have a great one.
Thanks, guys.